Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian. And next to me, as always, my husband Glenn. He's here in spirit always. He's not dead, but we just always say that. Me, the royal we. If you found this show, please share the show. Share the show, share the show. This is a live interactive podcast, so if you type into us, me and my guest, we will respond to you or try to. Without much further ado, I do want to remind you guys to share the show. Again, please share the fucking show. I'm trying not to curse. Sorry. All right. It is February 5th, 2021. I'm going to be fucking 31 in 10 days, if you can believe that motherfucking shit. And this is the 24th episode of the Calamity Jones Hour. And 24 is very lucky in my house. So you're in for a fucking treat, ladies and gents. I think without fucking further ado, I'm going to bring on a very gracious woman. She, you may have seen her on the East Side Dave show. It's on comedy, on the Compound. It's a variety show. You might have seen her on Safe Space, which is an inner city. What did you call it? An inner city?
We talk about crime as
inner
if it
city
were football.
crime show.
I'm an analyst.
Analyst. And my friend, and now yours, Miss Andrea Bryant. Woo! Welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Oh my God. Well, first we have to start off by saying how the fuck we met.
Yeah.
Through the
magic of my sis Tass.
She's fucking amazing. If you haven't seen this show, if you don't know what Mandy Jones the comedian is, it's my persona, it's me. But if you don't know me, if you know me, you know that I love Taz because she supports everything I do. She's my profile. She drew my profile picture because she's an artist. And when she was coming to New York, because she lives on the other side of the country, I was definitely going to come see her at a comedy show. And then Corona came.
Yeah.
And so we subbed you in.
Yeah.
The universe subbed you in. And it was just so funny because I'm like, are you the people? Like, kind of figure out who you are.
Yeah, you only have like 50% of the face to work with.
Exactly,
too. It's tough to make an ID.
Exactly. ID the person. And then, we go and sit down. It's like, all right, burgers? Like, so what are we doing here, guys? Like, sorry. Like, just totally pick up where we left off.
Yeah, that's great.
And so that's why I'm super excited to have you because I feel like I've known you forever, but I've got a bunch of funky questions that we can end up anywhere tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of really valiant things. You are training to be in the Navy.
I am actually in the Navy. I'm a reservist, so I get to do.
So you are currently in the Navy.
Yes.
Okay. Reservists, and you've been working on your fitness recently.
Yeah. I've really got into good shape like a year ago. Then the gym's closed, and then I stopped working out. And then over the summer, I started doing calisthenics, which I don't find very interesting at all. And when the gyms opened back up in September, I was there like all the time. So yeah, I get up at 5 every morning, go to the gym for an hour or two, and I at least accomplish something for my day by 8 a.m.
That's a good way to be because if you get it done in the morning, that's a good way to look at it. At least I got that under my belt.
Exactly.
That's a good way to be. And I want to get better with myself with this guy. That's why I wanted to have someone like you on because I'm like, let me find out how she did it. One of the tricks to staying motivated. One of the things I think is also very valiant and not talked about fucking enough in society is you got sober.
Yeah.
But people talk about that like you murdered somebody or it's like a whole like coming out of the closet thing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's definitely a personal thing, but I don't really mind sharing it that much.
It's like it's because it's funny because I drink sometimes, I party sometimes, and I'm trying to not do that because I think I can get more out of myself if I'm 100% fucking 100%.
It's true.
And it's like I started reading and like I'm doing like listening to podcasts and doing all this stuff, and it's like there's a sober curious is a term, guys. Sober curious. That means people that are, it's like being bi fucking curious. Where you're not sure about your sexuality, you're not sure about being sober, because it's really hard when all your friends and all your family and all your fucking your life is all surrounds that. So how did that transition work for you? Like, were all your friends just like, okay, Andrea doesn't drink anymore, like cool? Or were what were the reactions that you got from your friends?
I mainly everyone was supportive. I mean, even the people who still drink are like, hey, good for you. And, you know, even if it's just lip service, hey, you know, they're being nice about it. But, like not quite a year and a half ago, my siblings and I were going to go to Kauai for a week. And, my sister and I were like, yeah, we kind of want to remember this. So we quit drinking. And then when I got there, you know, they tell you like, okay, after 10 days or 2 weeks, like the physical cravings are gone. And I had quit at other times before, and I'm like, well, I got past that point, but I still wanted to drink. Like, what is that?
Right.
I never understood that. It was never explained to me. And I stumbled across this book that like explains why that is.
What is this book?
It's called This Naked Mind by Annie Grace.
Oh my fucking, that's okay. Yeah, now I have to read that. This Naked Mind.
I got through like 2/3 of the book. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm never gonna have another drink, and it just like was like flipping on a light switch, and I was like, oh, this is easy now. I get it.
And wow, enlightenment, like just like cool. That very cool, very cool. Because I feel like I've made advancements like that in my life. Like I've definitely like. I used to be I went from college being a blackout fucking you know, American college kid to, you know, then when I would do the podcast, I was drinking once a week or twice a week. And it was like, you get fucked up if you're only drinking once or twice a week. Like,
you gotta cram it in. Yeah.
You drink like 2 glasses of wine quick in an hour. You're fucking slurring your words like an idiot by the end of the fucking thing.
Your parents probably told you to finish what's on your plate too, right? Like,
no,
I
actually,
swear
my mom was actually like starved. Like when I was like, I'm done. She's like, throw it out. Like I don't care, because I guess she was. Because I guess she was force fed. So she was just like, you know, my husband, his family, they were like, you have to eat the carrots and stuff. Like you can't, and you're not getting dessert. My mom was like, go fucking eat a Swiss roll cake. I don't give a fuck. Like,
that's awesome. Yeah. My parents.
That's awesome. No structure. Yeah,
they're like
no nutrition. That's totally great, Andrea.
Yeah. No, my parents are pretty strict on that. Like, no dessert. You got to finish your food, you know.
Did you have to change your diet a lot when you wanted to start changing your life, or you were pretty much like stopping drinking is just like calories fucking gone? People are like, how are you like so skinny? It's like, I don't fucking drink constantly.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
that's one.
The empty calories from booze, and then like once you're boozed up, you're like, well, I need to order seamless.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's the combination of I'm drunk and now I need a fucking burger, a greasy burger,
exactly,
and I'm getting a fucking milkshake.
So yeah, that goes out, and then you know, if you're working out in the morning, then you're kind of like, you know, I really want to get that performance up there, and then you start like getting conscious of like, I mean, I'll still enjoy a burger, but it's like, oh, I know I'm not going to feel good after that.
Right. Yeah, no, we started eating healthier, saving money for the house, for buying this house. We started eating healthier and at home, and then during the quarantine, it was like, I was like, oh, we're eating fucking, Glenn was like, we're eating beans. I'm like, it's the fucking apocalypse. Like, we weren't even doing takeout. Like, and if you don't eat red meat and shit, like, your blood, like, the fucking cholesterol is just like, people are like, you look great. What are you doing? It's like, just not eating red meat and not being fucking.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, back in the day when we were hunters and gatherers, you didn't get a fucking meat every meal. It was a party. You got when you fucking hunted something down, and then you ran it off and worked and hunted more.
Exactly. Yeah.
And earned more meat.
a lot of peaks and valleys in that.
It wasn't just driving through McDonald's, which I do like all the time, guys. I'm totally like a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Let's just real quick. I just want to tune in to some people that are saying hello. We got why okay, I was like, why is that happening? The Colonel, we salute you. Dave Lange, thanks for tuning in. Danny girl, my Danny girl. Taz, the residential artist who we were bowing down to, the reason we have this beautiful lady.
Sis.
Yeah, the beautiful lady with
Love
us
you,
tonight.
sis.
Oh my God, so great. Lou Pratt. Oh, that's who we went to see the comedy show.
Yes,
for.
Lou,
yes.
of course.
Lou is great. Lou is fucking hilarious. He's a great guy. I chickened out of going to New York last year. We know.
It happens. Yeah.
No, you know what? My mom has a saying, choose life.
Yeah.
And sometimes if it's real, like, you know, like, oh, we're going to go like skiing, but it's like supposed to be like a fucking, you know, the mountain's supposed to like fall down and there's going to...
Yeah.
There's supposed to be like avalanches and stuff, but like we already paid for the like tickets, you know? Yeah. Like it's like choose life, Mandy. Like,
yeah.
Like yeah, like just don't, you don't need to, you know, risk your life all the time.
Yeah, just
like not on purpose, because you're already risking your life, like just driving a car, just like
yeah, exactly. Let's not up the ante, just, you know, live to fight another day.
It's pretty fucked up how many like cars like go into living rooms. Like, oh yeah,
like they don't belong there. They stick out like a sore thumb.
Just being like fucking in your living room and just like, oh fucking whoopsie daisy, fucking.
Ooh, could have had a V8.
Like, because there's a guardrail in the corner down here, and Glenn's like, yeah, that's fucking definitely because somebody went through that house like once or twice. So you don't just have a fucking highway guardrail in a fucking suburbia like this.
Yeah, it's not there as a preventative measure. Like, it's happened before. Right there.
Exactly. It's a marker of fucking possibly death.
Probably. Yeah.
Jesus. I knew we were going to have a good time. All right. Bruno's in the house. Bruno. What up, Corey? Donnie and Mandy. Oh, Donnie, I can't even. I'm so fucking stupid reading my own name. Corey and Donnie, love you guys. I love you fucking so much. Get here, please. Bonnie Scalisi. Bonnie's at the Burger King drive-thru and drinking.
The way God intended. Yes.
Bonnie, you only live once. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't judge anybody for like that's the whole thing. Like, I like you're like, yeah, your friends are like, even if they're just giving me lip service, it's like I don't really care. Like, if you like, that's the whole thing. Like, I'm like making the decision that in my life I want to tone it down, but I'm not gonna be like, no more wine at my house at the podcast. Like, Bonnie, don't fucking even think about it. Like, I can't look at like a drink, like, you know, because that's not realistic, Mandy.
Yeah. I don't care if, you know, people I'm hanging out with are drinking, like, if they're a good time, but
if you're sloshed and fucking
that
can't handle your shit.
Yeah, like if someone is stoned or drunk, I'm kind of like, well, it's all right, it'll be a little boring, you know, whatever. But like when people are on drugs, I'm like, oh, I'm terrified. This is
not
awful.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm an accomplice to something that's fucking.
Yeah.
Now I'm like very sober.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I need to get away.
Yeah, because it used to, and like that's like I replay stuff in my head, and I'm like, whoa, I was fucked up. That like that was going on, and I was not really like fazed by it.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, it's really nice to like, you know, be able to drive at any time and not worry about wrapping your car around a tree or something.
It's not okay to fucking drink and drive. That is one thing that is not cool. And just, you can hurt yourself, you can hurt somebody else. And so many of my friends have just ruined their fucking credit and their fucking, it's just, just because you fucking have to do probation and then you have to fucking, it's like, dude, just fucking Uber, or there's like rails everywhere. Like, you could take train anywhere. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Like,
easy day.
Even honestly, when it was supposed to snow and I knew you were coming from the city, I was like thinking like, if it's fucking bad, I'll just fucking ask her if she wants to get on the train and I'll pick you up because I could drive. I have a truck. Like, I don't know what kind of car you drive, but it's like, I know I can make it out of my neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, that's one of those choose life.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, choose life. Yeah, it's my neighborhood was pretty bad. I shoveled out my car for like a couple hours Tuesday morning. And then
it sucks.
But you know,
did you consider it's part of your workout though?
Exactly. Yeah, the gym was closed anyway, so I might as well get out there and make it happen. But and then I didn't drive till like Wednesday, and pretty much everything was cleared out by then anyway. I have like chains in my car, but it's like I don't want to use them. If I have to put on chains, I don't need to be out in this. I'll wait.
Yeah, seriously, it's a little excessive.
Yeah, it's like there's a bodega like a couple blocks away. If I really need to eat, if I'm starving, I'll just walk down there. I don't need to kill myself. I'm gonna choose life.
Yeah, life. You're gonna be saying that now. It's my mom. This is one of my mom's little
fantastic advice.
There's little Care Bears coming up. I don't know who's doing those. Oh my Lord. Let's get to some of the fun stuff. Enough serious. Yeah. Enough of this drag.
Yeah.
We were talking before we got on there, working out. I was like, yeah, she's like had a fucking sick video of her doing chin-ups, and Glenn was like, who we met over the summer, like,
yeah. I was not in as good a shape as a lot.
Well, that's the point of this. And then we watched the video. He's like, oh, and she's got her knuckles out. Like, he's fucking doing it the hard way. I'm like, yeah, I told you, motherfucker. Like, I'm not fucking around. This bitch is doing chin-ups, and she's badass. Yeah. But you were saying a goal of adding 2 a month.
Yeah. I think that's pretty realistic. Like July. Yeah, July. Probably about the time I saw you, I started doing calisthenics again.
How did you first time you tried to use one of those bars, could you pull yourself up? Could you do one? Did you just hang there? How did you fucking start?
Well, when I saw you guys, I could do a couple, but it's probably only at like 3.
Right. Then it's like, fuck this. It's like, come on, Jen. It's like, yeah, we're good.
There was once a time when I couldn't do a pull up at all, and so you go to the gym, the lat pull down machine. You can do less weight or like take weight off pull ups. The other thing you can do is you can get like a chair, hold yourself up, and then just lower yourself.
Okay,
that's a negative. That's good. But yeah, it's trying to do it every day and progressive overload, all that junk. But I have a pull-up bar, obviously saw in the video, it just hooks in my doorway, so it's like, go to the bathroom, come back, do a few, and just the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. My husband had a friend growing up that he swore by whenever he was watching TV and there was commercials, he was doing jail workouts. So he was either doing push-ups or crunches or, just doing some form of, just free body movement. And for 5 minutes of commercials or 3 minutes of commercials it really does, you know, and even if you're just holding, we were talking about holding planks where people are like, I can only do 2 minutes. It's like, yeah, you can only do 2 minutes because you say you can only do 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm going to be doing 10 minits when I'm fucking 60 years old, you'll be doing fucking 45-minute planks when you're 60 years old. Like,
yeah, it's like you have to do it every day. Pretty, a rest day here and there, but that's the thing. Is like, okay, you're here. How are you going to get there?
Yeah,
where you want to be, and you do have to work at it every day. It takes a commitment, and that's apparently where most people just disintegrate.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like, I bought the leggings and I did this and I did that. It's like, yeah, but now you have to actually do the shit. You bought the books on it. You got the...
Yeah, you know what to do. And working out is like not that complicated. You pick what you like, and for a lot of people, they'll tell you, calisthenics, or you got to do HIIT workouts or whatever else. And it's like, I really like lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
Over this summer, I am not a runner, but there was a couple times where I wanted to fucking punch somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going for a fucking run.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very far. Yeah. But just to get that blood fucking, I'm like, this is my like, this is my self-harm. Like,
yeah. No,
I'm just gonna fucking sweat out this motherfucker and shit right now.
That's great. Yeah, I got into running this summer too because there's just nothing else to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the 70s, so it's like we have to just go out and fucking hang out with each other.
Maybe do some or prancercise, like.
Or what's the guy who did the dancing? I want to say Richie something, but Richard Simmons.
Yeah. Oh, I was just reading about him last night. I guess he like left.
That's weird.
Life. Yeah.
That I just pulled that out of my fucking.
Yeah, no. So I think somebody tweeted about it. I'm like, yeah, whatever happened to Richard Simmons? And I guess he like left public life like.
Did he cash out? Did he make money, or he was fucking?
Oh yeah. He just decided he didn't want to be that public anymore. But yeah, he used to be everywhere. It's like, why is this weirdo on Letterman? But he made like a boatload of cash. Good for him.
Yeah, he's probably living on a private island somewhere. He's probably living big in like not Bali, probably like Bali.
Yeah. No, he lives, I think, like in LA with his 2 housekeepers. Other than that, he's by himself, and like the cops like had to do a welfare check on him last year. I don't know. Thanks, Wikipedia. You're telling me things that I shouldn't know about, but
it's none of my business.
Yeah. I
didn't need to know about that he's got a friggin' case on his hands.
Yeah.
I got the family bundle. Oh my god. So this is total low-hanging fruit, but I had to send my dad when I saw the meme. It's the guy, the beer, the fucking Dos Equis.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yes, yeah, so he's saying, I don't always go to burger. I don't always fart. Yeah.
Farts are always funny.
Yeah, I can't even get it out. I don't always fart at Burger King, but when I do, it's a Whopper. I said that to my dad. He was like, "Holy shit!" Because my dad fucking shit his pants after eating Burger King in like his 40s,
as one does. But yeah, dads and fart jokes, it's like peas and carrots. It just perfectly together.
I'm not gonna grow up, guys. I'm fucking Toys R Us kid. They're laughing with us, so that's good.
That's all right. I just spilled water all over my face.
All right, it's clear.
Like a drunk person. Oh well.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I have no excuse because, like, I'm just like, I say that I'm gonna like do stuff, and Glenn's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "'Cause you're not graceful." Like.
Yeah,
like, I don't want you to die, honey.
Yeah. We want this to end well.
Like, I'm just gonna be doing that. It's like, no, you're not. Like, people's idea of what their body can do and what it's either completely opposite. It's like, oh yeah, I could totally like go off that.
You know what's dangerous is there was when I lived in Utah, there was they had trains going throughout the city, like little whatever. Yeah, like little road trains, you know. They're not like
5 feet.
It's not like
you have to pedal them yourself.
Yeah. But like, I watched a Jackie Chan movie, and there's like a passing train, and he's like running with his hands because he's like leaning on the train and like trying to keep up with the train to regain his balance. And it's like when you're really drunk and you see that train, you're like, I wonder if I could do that. And it's like, luckily I never had terrible enough judgment to give it a shot. But, like, I did have to have that self-talk of, like, don't run on the train with your hands. You're not Jackie Chan. Yeah.
You do have to tell her.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself I'm not Jackie Chan all the time.
Wait a minute. Hold up in the mirror. Am I a middle-aged Asian man? No, I'm not. All right.
Can I kick him in the face? Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Other news.
Yeah. Someday I'll be in as good a shape as Jackie Chan. That's my goal.
Jackie Chan now, or Jackie Chan in his prime?
Before he crippled himself performing his own stunts. Pre-crippling. Very important.
I am so not up on anything. Like, I don't follow any sort of celebrity news. I don't know anything. It's so funny. It's like a Martian.
Oh, you're not missing out on anything, because like there's certain things that I have like a really solid frame of reference for. I know a lot of stuff, or I just happened to read up on it last night. Exactly. But then there's like someone's like Halsey's pregnant, and I'm like, the admiral from World War II, like just like no frame of reference for.
What is that? That's music.
I guess. See, all right, so we're in the same boat.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm 30, going on 31 in 10 days. Anybody want to buy me anything? I keep fucking saying that. Like
Super
I'm a
chat.
Like I'm fucking like I'm a fucking 5-year-old. My birthday's in 10 days. But no, why was I saying that?
Well, we had no idea that Halsey was a singer.
Oh yeah, I'm 31. I don't have kids. I don't fucking know what Halsey is.
No idea.
Because anybody that's like my friends that were over last night or 2 nights ago for the Wildflowers, they're a little older than me and they're in between Bonnie and I's age.
Yeah.
But they have kids, like, so they're like completely like hip. Like, they're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're learning it vicariously through their kids. Yeah.
And like, just know because you drive them around and they.
Yeah.
So you know what they're like into.
Yeah. You kind of pick it up through osmosis. Well, and that's the thing, like with my coworkers, like all of them pretty much across the board are younger than me. And some like almost disastrously so, where it's like, because I process their paperwork and I look at their birth date and I'm just like, whoa, like I didn't know that was allowed. Like, what are the child labor laws? Like, oh no, they're an adult. Okay, what's the generation after Zoomers? Because I think that's what I'm dealing with at this point. Like, they're like shockingly younger than me. They're all great people, but like,
wait, did you just call them Zoomers instead of Boomers?
Yeah. Generation Z. Generation Z, yeah. After millennials.
I have not even heard that yet. Zoomers. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Like that's the generation after me, and that's the people that I'm working with. And it's
I can't stand kids.
They're great. We get along, but it's like in terms of a frame of reference, we're just like nanu. Like there's no hope. Just completely lost.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I always joke. I call Taz the littlest kid out. I'm like, she's the youngest person that is allowed to watch the show because she's 25, and it's like, as she gets older, as I get older, it's gonna one day you're gonna have to be 40 to watch the fucking show. Like,
exactly. It's not gonna make sense if you're.
Yeah, because I'm just going to be joking about, like, wearing Depends or whatever I'm doing at that age.
I think that was Fox News's plan. Like, they came out in 1997, and, like, their audience just keeps getting older, and you can tell from the commercials at the Acorn stair lift and catheters and shit.
We'll just age with them.
Yeah, exactly. And when they die out, we'll die out. Symbiotic.
Hopefully their grandchildren will find a fucking subscription to our fucking channel.
Yeah.
And we'll get grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so but you would have done some TV appearances, right?
Yeah, well, I'll call them media appearances.
Okay.
TV, not quite. So Tom Shalhoub used to have a radio show. Tass and I got to be in studio with him twice. That was we had a trip to New York City 3 years ago and got to go around and meet all these crazy people and be on Tom's show. And then Compound Media, they're like video podcast, and my work is only about a 20-minute walk away, so I'll stop by sometime and maybe get to be on Eastside Dave or on Safe Space, or maybe just be lucky enough to watch a show or something like that, depending on the rules at the time. But yeah, that's always fun to drop in there and make a fool of myself.
Well, I didn't get to watch. I'm going to be honest. I didn't get to watch, but you did stand up. You tried stand up.
Yeah.
I had to go.
Yeah, so actually that started with Eastside Dave. They wanted us to write a few jokes for Christmas. And so I said, well, I'm not just going to write 3 disjointed jokes. I'm going to make it a set. I'm going to
There you
have
go. Look
transitions.
at you. You're always up in the ante. I like it.
Yeah. So it was only about a minute, but I was like, oh, that went well. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And I was like, I need to come up with 5 minutes. So I wrote out 5 minutes, and we had one of these secret shows somewhere in the state of New York. Maybe
They're
not.
called private shows, people.
Yeah.
They're private.
And so I had at least 5 minutes of material. I hadn't really practiced it, and they said, "Yeah, do you want to go on?" And I was like, "Well, I can't say no. Yeah, I'll go on."
Mm-hmm.
And kind of ate it, but that's all right. Like I got some laughs, and then another show about not quite a month ago now, in Connecticut. I was ready to go. I had like 7 minutes and did great. Enjoyed it. Had fun. Made people laugh. And and then I'm taking a comedy class with Joe DeVito right now.
Oh, Joe DeVito.
Yeah, getting a little more writing in.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he's the best. So I'm actually, I know I have the material. It's just my writing and delivery are trash.
Yeah, well that's the thing. It's like they say that the real comedy people who help people write comedy, they know they don't write jokes for you. They go, you can't teach funny. Mm-hmm. They go and they help you go with your content, and they help you shape it.
Yeah.
But you have your voice, like, and you can still it's just like advice. You're a smart woman, I'm sure. You know, there's probably things that like, oh, you do it this way. It's like, I don't really say it like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And my husband's always like, oh, it's just because I said it, you don't want to do it. And it's like, no, it's just because it's not how it's funny to me. Like, it's just like, that's, like a lot of, I've never paid for a comedy class or taken a comedy class, but I've had, through doing the podcast and being around comedians, I've gotten tidbits from people and stuff. And like, one of the things is like, oh, well, you should really have more of like a tit for tat. Like, cause I like do a lot of jokes with like me and my husband, and like, it's basically like, I end up at like, they always like the one guy was like, yeah, you need to end up at like the butt of the joke. Like, oh, cause I'm the woman, like the crack, like he needs to have like the final, like, like joke. And like some of my jokes he does have the joke, like and because that's what happened.
Exactly. Like, oh, I'm supposed to like rewrite reality, so
you feel comfortable in my cadence of fucking jokes. Like,
I saw the craziest tweet today. Joe Mackey, right? Everybody knows Joe Mackey, great comedian, and somebody said, you should have, your Me Too joke is really offensive and to Utahns and something like that. It was like, somebody's like, hey, maybe research the comedian before you go. Fantastic advice. And she says, well, it was a last minute friend date, and this is this person's second strike. They missed the boat on this one. It's like, okay, you found Joe Mackey offensive, literally impossible. But it totally makes sense if you're the person who finds Joe Mackey offensive that you issue strikes against potential friends. Like, what a loser. What an awful person.
And you're telling random strangers on the internet about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're Yelp reviewing your fucking...
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're the worst. And it's like, it's not,
You will go to hell for that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's like, it's comedy. Like, okay, there was that one joke you didn't like. All right, fine. It's fine to not like a joke. What about the rest of them? What about the other 700 jokes you did that night? How do those land?
Right. I know. People get so hung up on one thing, and sometimes they'll hear a word that they don't like, or they'll hear a concept they don't like, and it's like, la 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 la.
Oh yeah,
they literally lost them.
Yeah.
And like, I think part of why people are receptive to me on stage is like, just because I've always kind of had I'm from a big family and stuff, so it's always like, I kind of had to use my voice to wrangle the room, and kind of like had to, you got to keep making eye contact with people, because they'll tune out.
Oh yeah,
and
people just
and if you're exactly, and if like small. I'm not having like a fucking blast, they're not going to be having a blast.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because now I'm thinking just how much the quarantine has nuked my attention span.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like, it's like the line from Basketball, attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds. But like with comedy, how if we ever do go back to like going to a club or something like that, like just with people like constantly being distracted, and if they could even sit through a comedy show.
I know, and it's rough because these private shows, I've done a couple recently, not like all of the time, but I've done a couple since the lockdown, and my poor friend, he's the headliner, and he'll always, like, he gets to the point where he's like, all right, guys, 6 more minutes, I'm almost done. Because there's been so many funny, great comedians that came before him, and now people are either too drunk or whatever. Now they're fucking. They're looking at the phones. Now they're fucking. What's next? Where are we going after this shit? This guy's almost done. Like, what's the fucking? And and it's so bad because, like, I'm like, I say I will never be the person that's like, if you don't fucking listen to my joke, but like, it is really frustrating when you practice and you have and it's a show. It's kind of like, you should be, you don't like it,
Where else are you going to be going for live entertainment that it's like, I'm mentally checked out of this one? Like, hey, come on, get in the zone, people, focus. But yeah, I have no attention span anymore. It's just gone.
And that's why I think being different is what makes it makes it worth it. You have to stand out, because if you, like we were talking about, like, if you fall into just that same cadence of all these other people and you don't have, like, if you talk from experience, my jokes are all about my experience. People can relate because people have family members, but they can't say, oh, that's a hack joke, because it's like, it's not a joke about, like, an orange. Like, aren't you glad I didn't say fucking banana? It's not like some fucking punny shit. It's just like, it's just life kind of amplified, And some people have even said, oh, you need to really, like, spice it up. Like, you need to, like, be more, like, exaggerate more. Like, you could, like, add, oh, and then he said, and then you even then. It's like, but that's, it didn't happen.
It's not,
And then they're going to be like, is that true with every joke?
Yeah. And it's, it's like, it's not a monologue, all right? It's stand up. It's different. It's different medium.
Yeah. Would you ever do acting or, like, improv? Have you ever tried any of that stuff?
No, I was thinking about trying like an improv class or something like that, and then of course, that kind of doesn't really work out in present times. But
a Zoom improv.
Oh god, it sounds terrible. I can't even.
Can we outlaw that right about?
Yeah, I can't even wrap my head around the logistics of that. But and then acting, I don't know. I'll try anything once, twice, 3 times, but yeah, in terms of aspirations, no, not really.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. That's how I feel about it. Like, I'm like, the stand-up's like liberating. Like, you get the let out. You can, like, like, just being like, okay, you're gonna wear this and you're gonna say these lines.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird, but yeah, like I say, I'd try it. Why not?
What would you say your mission statement is?
Mission statement. Oh, good grief. To get out of the Navy in one piece.
Wow. Okay.
I have drill this weekend, and I cannot wait for the Navy to be over. I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm tired. I want to nap. I want to go home. But is it getting easier with yourself when you're working out? Because you're mentally pushing yourself. When you work out, you're mentally like...
Well, that does help to a certain extent. But no, the Navy is just constant aggravation. You're just like, why? Why am I dealing with this?
Because I gave him my social security number and signed a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then they didn't secure my social security number, so then the Chinese have it. Thank you. Like, it's seriously, but it just I used to be with the unit that was like a security unit, and that's my background in the Navy is doing security. While I was on active duty, all I did was drive boats, but like it still kind of translates, and I'm familiar with the equipment and like procedures, what I'm supposed to do. And then just inexplicably, they moved me to a logistics unit, and I have no idea what's going on. And it's like, if anything happens and like we do have to deploy people, I'm probably one of the few people who's in shape and like has everything up to date. And it's like, hey, you need to go. And it's like, I have no idea what's going on. Like,
I haven't been paying attention at all. Like, you can't.
It doesn't matter if I was paying attention. I'm still like, what? We're delivering water bottles to Puerto Rico? Like, what happened? I don't get it. Like, security is so basic where it's like, keep anything away from that, like, and that's easy, but like logistics,
if you see anything over there, just fucking
like logistics, you have to learn it without falling asleep, and for me that's impossible. Like, it's
man,
so boring.
Yeah, so what like fucking maps? What are you really like? What are you doing at all? Like I know. Yeah, what are you supposed to be doing?
We basically like deliver supplies to places that have like suffered a disaster. Is kind of the basic idea. So like the earthquake in Haiti, like they're delivering water bottles and stuff, or like the hurricane in Puerto Rico and stuff. So yeah, you're delivering stuff there, and you have to unload the ships, and sometimes a war breaks out, like you got to ship Humvees and junk over there or whatever. So you're doing operations like onload, offload stuff, and it's like I don't understand any of this. Like, I don't know what you guys want me to do. Like, if you want me to arrest someone, I'm your gal. Like, I'm gonna take somebody down. But when it comes to logistics, it's so much is just flying over my head. So I only have about a year left. Cannot wait for that time to be over. And although mercifully we have been basically remote for like the last year.
Okay.
So I get to, normally it would be like, okay, I got to get up at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, put on a uniform, drive to this place, sit there all day with bad internet, bored out of my mind. Now it's like, I set my alarm for 6:55, text message, like, I'm awake, get up for an hour, make coffee or whatever, sit down in front of my computer, and then just, okay, listen to what they have to put out, catch up on chores, chores like Navy chores, things I have to do. But so at least I get to sort of kind of sleep in on my weekends. And yeah, it's not nearly as stressful in the driving and all that junk. So it's like, I guess it could be worse. Hopefully we stay remote for a little bit longer. And I can just kind of skate out of here.
So what is your plan after? Do you have a vision for yourself after this?
Well, yeah, basically once I leave the Navy, it'll free up where, I work for a nonprofit, like normal day job.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, see about comedy or just doing podcasts or see what pops up.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to move. I don't know.
Ooh, well, I mean, we didn't even talk about this. You're from Utah. You're not from New York initially, right?
Yeah. Well,
Or
originally, I'm from California.
Okay.
But yeah. I lived in Utah for about 5 years. After I got off active duty, went back to school. My sister lives in Salt Lake City. My parents are only like a few hours north in Idaho. So lived there for a while, and because I was such a big Red Eye fan, I came out for Tom Shalhoub's book signing / comedy show like 4 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I should live out here. This is the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like a year later, I moved out here, and yeah, it's been awesome. So I mean, even with all the garbage going on, it's like, still not sure I want to leave. Like,
yeah, it's still the top of the world, baby. Like, I mean, like, it's cold, and you were shoveling snow. And
I've been doing that in Utah anyway. Like, yeah.
I know. Well, whenever I'm envisioning going anywhere, it's like, I'm going where I'm not shoveling snow. I'm going somewhere warm where my bones are not going to ache because I'm 30 and they're already fucking aching. So I don't even want to envision.
Yeah. Oh, I
another 20 years in this fucking vehicle.
Well, I've different times, thank God, would have been a disaster, but I've broken my ankles, and so I have titanium, and
at the same time you had 2 ankles broken?
No, they were different times, like I said.
But they're both titanium?
Yeah. So it's like, which I was kind of almost grateful when I broke the second one. It's like, I level it out a little bit, but
I felt weird about having just the one being.
But yeah, it's just like the first really cold day of the year. It's like,
so I never thought of that, dude. You just gave me the chills because I used to have the industrial piercing in my ear. Oh. And that I remember getting cold because it was like a decent, like a piece of titanium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck, shit.
Yeah. But and then you kind of learn to get used to it and wrap your ankles up a little bit more so you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, it's it's a living. It's being alive. So,
yeah, no, New York. I mean, it's funny because I love New York City to visit, but I can never live there. Like, I just don't see myself there.
I hit kind of the nice little hybrid where technically I do live in New York City, but my neighborhood looks like this.
Okay. Where are you, Long Island City then?
No, I'm in Queens. I'm right next to the Whitestone Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a nice neighborhood. Like I park my car right out front of the house. Like it's easy. And then you just hop on the bus. You're at the 7. It takes me like an hour to get to work, taking the trains. Which to me, I thought at first like, oh gosh, this could be such a nightmare. And it's like, no, it's great. Like I read a book.
I know.
I was never reading when I was when I lived in Utah. Like, because you're driving places or you gotta walk or whatever. It's like you park your butt on a train and read a book.
Right, exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like literally, yeah, exactly. Moving while you're moving.
Yeah.
It's no, that's why a lot of people do the audiobooks like while they're driving. My commute's one of the reasons we bought here is because we both work 15 minutes away from where we,
nice
where we are. So that was ideal. Like, and we're like, we're not moving far, like, because we had looked at houses like out east further. And I was like, oh, like an hour and a half of driving, like each, at the 45 minutes or hour each way, and then it's like, then on a snow day like fucking today, it's like, now you're getting up 2 hours early, instead of the 1 hour because you're fucking like this. Like here, I fucking hope nobody from work's watching. Like literally wake up like 5 minutes before I'm fucking supposed to be there, and then get there like 10 minutes late or 15, and then back in. But I stay late, like what I mean, like because I'm like a fucking like asshole. But I literally, it's like a mental fucking thing because like when I'm here working remote, because they have me going back and forth, I'm like, okay, like 7:15, it's like bing, like up and like at the computer, like in my jammies, like fucking, and everything's time stamped. They know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Is like you can't fucking.
Yeah, you can't fudge that too much.
Yeah, they know fucking mouse strokes. They know like all my shit. Like when I process invoices and stuff. Like I don't actually do the invoices, but I process them through, and like everything's dated and time stamped, and like it's like literally like, oh, Mandy worked from like 2 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. and like I'm not kidding about that. Like the other night I couldn't sleep, and I was like, I'm literally gonna log in for a half hour, and when I'm tired, I'll fucking go fucking back to sleep. And you know what I mean? Because all I'm doing sitting there in bed is, oh, I should really get that shit done. Tomorrow's gonna fucking suck. I'm awake right now, and I'm fucking. So it's like, might as well just fucking, get up, do a fucking, like, I'll either do a chore like at home, but if I'm working remote, I'm like, oh, I'll fucking log in right now. I'll fucking.
Might as well, because one of two things will happen. Either you'll get the work done, you'll clear your mind, you'll be able to go to sleep, or it'll be so damn boring you'll just go to sleep anyway.
Exactly. It'll be
it's a win-win.
Exactly. I'll do one and be fucking done, or exactly. It was perfect. I was like, I'll just like push a couple of these through, and then I was like, all right. It was like at a 25-minute mark. I'm like, I could do 5 more minutes. Yeah. End at a half hour. Be clean.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there's these weird statistics I have to do for work, and it takes so much time, but it actually works out perfectly because my drill weekends are usually the first weekend, and that's about the time I need to get it done. And it's like, when I'm listening to some boring presentation, just like do this little data entry stuff.
Right. Yeah, the tedious stuff. I know, because this is stuff, the stuff that I'm doing now, it's like creating jobs for the year out. Like we have these contracts, so for the entire year, I'm literally creating the schedule for the entire fucking year.
Oh,
so
great.
it's fucking tedious, and I mean, it's job security. It's great. I know that I'm fucking putting jobs on the board for the entire year, no joke. But at the same time, like I can't get that shit done when during the day people are asking for quotes and I'm answering the phone, and I fucking but at night a half hour you bang out like, all right, I just did December, now it's January, all right, now next one, like. But when you fucking are stopping and checking every fucking 5 minutes.
Shifting gears kills me.
It's like, it's not so getting done,
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of tedious stuff. It's like, I got to do it, when there's no distractions.
Like, I hear you. And, Stupid work.
But luckily my job, it's basically you, Mandy, you have a job, just get it done. Like these are your tasks. Like I don't really care what order you fucking do them in, as long as they're like done. And like I said, everything's fucking time stamped, everything's digital, so they know like, okay, you have this many things on your list.
Yeah.
It needs to be at this many.
Yeah. Just make sure that the list number comes down. Yeah, in a timely fashion. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I enjoy my job. Like, yes, I get to go to work, but it's like, I wouldn't say I tolerate it either. That sounds too cynical. I
muscle it down.
Like, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, hey, you gotta have a job. It's like, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. Like, they treat me well. I love the people I work with. They're great. And like, yeah, like I had to find a job that like hit these bases, and it's like this one did, and it did more. Like it really is a great place to work. But yeah, there's some days where I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to do this.
And it's the monotony, you know. You go on fucking the phone, and you see people are in Greece and fucking doing all this shit, and you're like, why am I not there? But it's not fucking realistic. They're reposting for 5 years ago. Like, wish I were in Greece again. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like
that's a 5-year-old photo.
That's what you have to remember is like, oh man, that social media, like that looks so great, and it's like, it's literally the best of their life, and it's not that good.
It's literally tailored so hard, and it's not even that great.
Yeah, exactly. Like. Yeah. Like, even me, like, I'm doing my 11 pull-ups, and I'm dressed, like, maybe slightly better than the average person you see at Penn Station. Like, only slightly better. Just one less hypodermic needle.
But it's like, fucking, seriously, get at me. What do you want me to do? What are you supposed to be in fucking, like, pay all this money for, like, these, like, oh, this is my shirt for working out. Like, it's like, no, I own t-shirts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw one on. I'm gonna do a crunch or two.
Yeah, I am blown away by the amount of money that people spend on their workout clothes. Like, they look immaculate at the gym, and it's like, you're gonna want me to wipe down the equipment. Like, I look awful. Like, I've got like mesh shorts that I bought from the thrift store for 50 cents. I've been rocking those things for years. Like, what's the problem?
I want to wipe that down.
Like, you just know that it's like, those clothes are old. Like, there's...
She's not the first person who's worn this clothes.
Exactly. Now, full disclosure, I have washed them. Like,
I am a total thrift store fucking nutcase. Everything I have is like, anyone's like, oh, I like that. I'm like, oh yeah, it's from a thrift store. Or like, literally, like, I'm like, oh, my cousin's cousin gave me a bag of clothes. Like, I literally don't buy anything. Like,
well, and it's not to say, like, even if I do have the option to buy something new, it's not like I'm making good decisions on that either. Like, I wore my Letterman jacket from high school.
It looks
good. Who does that?
It looks really
Someone's
cute.
like, oh, that's really cool. Is that like the new 8-ball jacket? I'm like, no, that is like a 15-year-old high school jacket that I am wearing unironically. That's what I'm doing.
Where I'm at.
Yeah. Like, I never wore it in high
school.
I never wore it in high school. You know, I gotta wear it now. Like, why not? Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Great.
I volunteer to bob people over their heads of comedy shows if they enter on for free. Oh, thank you, Aunt Patty.
Oh, yeah. That's a public service.
That's what they said. Someone said, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
They're saying it's rude. Yeah, the mic was too low. Don't say where it was, Patty. I'll delete that comment. Mandy, last week, the girls who wouldn't shut up. Yeah, Terry was going to kill him. It was bad.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, growing up, like, whether it was school or my parents, they'd take me to a live performance, and it's like, you know, interrupting the live performance is just like unconscionable. And yeah, like, that's so weird to me when people are making noise or calling out or whatever. Like, there's some times where a heckle at a comedy show, like, it works, you know, it was kind of solicited maybe.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's fine. But then when they're just like having a full-blown conversation, it's like, you should be... I think execution's going far, but forcible sterilization seems reasonable. You know?
Definitely removed from the venue for the evening.
Yes.
Definitely
exactly.
86. I don't know about this. I'm not sure about the euthanasia.
Well, it's just sterilize. You can still walk the earth, but you will not be in the gene pool.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I fucking was thinking, I'm like, oh, you know how to break generational curses? Stop procreation.
Yeah. That's
How you break a generational curse, guys. Just fucking end the generation.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what baffles me about North Korea is they're like, if you screw up, like the sin, or they use a different word for it, but like
whatever,
the curse like goes through 3 generations of the family, and it's like, why are you having kids after that?
Yeah, you really just fucked over so many people, dude.
Yeah, you're just creating people to be screwed over. That's weird, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of sick. And if you're having a girl, it's like now she's screwed over and her fucking spawns.
Well, I think it's a little. Well, yeah, I think you're just in North Korea. You're just screwed no matter what gender
your family's just fucking shunned. You're fucking.
Yeah, I think it's China. If you're a girl, they just Sparta you off a cliff or something.
It's like it's true. Yeah. No, they put you in a basket and send you down the river like fucking Jesus. Yeah. Like fucking what's
Moses like Jesus no. The Jesus boat tour.
3-hour tour. Oh my God, they always say you gotta go out on a laugh. Jesus Christ, that's so fucking great. Yeah, no, The Prince of Egypt was like one of my favorites cartoons growing up. Do you remember that one?
No,
it's like a biblical fucking. It's a little harsh. Like they show like the Red Sea, like that sea turns to blood at one point. It's like fucking.
My 6th grade core teacher, it was her 43rd year of teaching, so not all the synapses are firing. And I do remember watching the 10 Commandments with whatever, what's his face, Chuck Heston, and it's just like, why are we watching this 7-hour movie? Like, this is insane, right? This is weird. But Mrs. Rush, she had her own plan.
Oh my Lord. What is your spirit animal?
Oh, my spirit animal. I don't know. Probably a cat. Like, they kind of only want to deal with people on their own terms and sleep a lot. Still, I don't know about that graceful thing. I don't really mesh with that either. I'm more with you on that. But yeah. Probably a cat. There's some days maybe a duck-billed platypus. Feel kind of out of sorts.
So funny that you say that. My buddy, his spirit animal, he said there's a platypus, and that's his fucking logo for his podcast.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It's a platypus. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been asked that, but yeah, I probably have to say a cat. Like, yeah.
And you own a cat.
Yes.
Just one cat?
Yeah. Well, I used to have my little tortoiseshell kitty, Delta. She passed away last year. And I was still pretty much in mourning period. My roommate works at a dealership, and she found a little Russian blue kitten. Her paws were burnt up, like trying to crawl onto an engine block.
Oh my God.
And she goes, "You got to come get this cat. I don't know what to do." And picked her up, took her to a vet to see if she was microchipped. And like, she was too little to even have been microchipped.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
They were like, this thing still has placentas on it.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? But yeah,
no one chipped this fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're the first human this thing's ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know what to do. I've never had a kitten before. Like, we've always gotten cats from the pound, but like they're adults.
Yeah. I'm
already like, what the fuck? Like, she was probably not even 4 weeks, just this tiny little thing. And so I still had all my old cat stuff, so I brought her home and got her situated, and like, I didn't know how to litter box train a cat, so like I put her in there and like made her scratch she figured it out right away. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Like, well, it's like, I guess it's kind of innate with some of the stuff.
Yeah. They say with cats it's really pretty easy. There's not a whole lot to it. And she was already eating solid food and everything, so I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, she's my little pal. She's about 8 months now.
Aww.
And
what's the name?
Elsie.
Elsie.
It's for Lucky Cat, but it sounds Elsie. Yeah, like your grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like ELS. Yeah. Elsie. Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So, she's kind of a nightmare because I'm used to my older kitty who's just like, oh, is that a plant? Who gives a shit? I'm gonna take a nap. This cat is like, oh, is that your water bottle? Well, that doesn't need to be there. Fuck you. And like, I'm not used to that level of disdain for my mere existence, but she's fun. She's fuzzy, and she snuggles up with me at night. So when she's calm, she's great, but usually she's a nightmare.
And that she'll probably come into it a little more because my friend, she said the same thing. Like her cats were. She's like, she doesn't think she really socialized them enough. Like when she got them when they were kittens, they'd hide on her and stuff, and she let that go on.
Yeah.
So to the point where now like the one doesn't want to be picked up. Like still the one will be picked up, but the other one doesn't want to, and she's like, fuck. Like, but now it comes around. That's like anything. It's just got it. They're just not like puppies that just trust everything.
Yeah. No, she does all right. Yeah, she doesn't see that many other humans, but like. She's bonded to me, so it's like I'll put her on my shoulders and like walk around, do chores, and like hand pieces of turkey back to her. She's all about it.
Aww.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That is our time for tonight. The hour went so fast.
I wish all my time at work went that fast. That was quick.
Yeah, we were laughing the whole time, dude. You're fucking funny. You're quick. Not all our synapses were firing. It's fucking like
sums her up perfectly. I don't think she finished the last 3 weeks. I seem to recall having a substitute. That's what happens when you've been collecting Social Security longer than your students have been alive.
Oh my god, I know. Glenn, my husband, so his like fucking parents have had teachers, and then he had them, and now they'll be like, oh yeah, so and so still teaching like kindergarten. He's like still like 80 years old. Like they should not be like
exactly like
in charge of anything like other than like themselves. Like,
well, and don't you notice like when you're a little kid and you're like, oh well, that person's 70, and then you become an adult and it's been 30 years and you're like, you find out they're 70 and you're like, wait a second. Or you just find out they're still alive and you're like, okay, extrapolating from that, they are 137.
Yeah, like, according to my calculations.
Like, I think I might have misjudged this earlier in my life.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There needs to be, it should be like with permits and stuff, you like learning, like they need to be retested.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna need you to parallel park. Like,
yeah, Grandma, just show me that you still know how to drive, because I'm not, like, you got your permit when you're 16 and now you can't see or like react.
Exactly. Those curb feelers are getting a workout.
I think we have to end because I'm gonna laugh too much. Awesome. Guys, she's fucking awesome. You're gonna have to come back because fucking. Can you just be a permanent fixture on the show? Because you were great. You were a natural. That's fucking awesome. We didn't even get to any of my fucking fun stuff. All right, we'll do one last one.
Okay.
I need you.
Yes.
I need you, my friend. As I have a fucking cough. All right, she had submitted these last night. Is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco?
Oh my god. You know what? I've never
just go with your instinct.
It's taco. I've never heard that asked before. Is it a taco? But that makes perfect sense.
And is a Pop-Tart a ravioli?
Ooh. It is an après dinner ravioli. Yes.
And then this is one that I've done around campfires for years. You guys can take this one home, put it in your pocket. Best to worst: cheese balls, cheese doodles, crunchy cheese like crunchy dehydrated cheeses or whatever the fuck the crunchy ones are.
Okay. Cheese balls
are best.
Yeah, I mean, actual cheese, like if it still resembles like what I'm
talking about the fucking big jug of fucking cheese balls.
Those. Yeah, those have heroin in them, so those are definitely at the top of the list.
All right, and then what do you like next? Puffs or crunchy? For seconds.
Ooh, puffs. Then crunchy.
All right,
yeah,
we're on the same level.
Yeah.
Balls, puff, crunchy. It's my girl, Andrea Bryant, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast.
You're going to have to send me the links to the shows that you appear on from time to time so people can follow them and catch you when you're on there. We'll put on the Calamity Jones Hour and spread the love. Taz, thank you so much for introducing me to this lovely lady. Everybody, thank you for watching and laughing with us. We had nothing but fun. And Andrea, thank you once again.
Of course, my pleasure.
Get home safe, guys. Be good.